In this video, we will start with the meaning and basic concepts of arbitration, and we'll move on to the purpose and objectives, evolution, and main features of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. And I will also introduce you to 8 different types of arbitration, which are domestic, international, foreign, institutional, specialized, ad hoc, statutory, and fast track or documents only arbitration. Let us start with the meaning of arbitration. The term arbitration refers to the resolution process wherein the parties submit their dispute to a neutral third party called the arbitrator for a decision. Thus, the parties are settling their dispute in private rather than going through the courts of law. The basic prerequisite for an arbitration is that it must have been agreed upon in advance by the parties to the dispute. And like a normal agreement or a contract, it should meet the requirements of the Indian Contract Act. For example, both the parties must have the capacity to contract. The arbitration agreement must be written with proper consent and not under any form of duress. We will talk more in detail about the arbitration agreement in another session. For now, let us move on to the purpose and objectives of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 1996. The Act is a fairly short document, and I would recommend that you should read it end to end at least once to get a better understanding of how it is structured. Meanwhile, the purpose and objectives of the Act are neatly defined in the long title of the Act itself, which says that this is an Act to consolidate and amend the law relating to domestic arbitration, international commercial arbitration, and enforcement of foreign arbitral awards, as also to define the law relating to conciliation and for matters connected therewith and incidental thereto. The preamble of the Act explains that it is predominantly based on the UNCITRAL model law on international commercial arbitration and the UNCITRAL conciliation rules. Let us now look at the history of this Act. In the early 1990s, the Indian economy started opening up and economic liberalization was underway. There was a push towards getting foreign investments into India and Indian companies for offering services to international customers. Thus, the Arbitration Act was intended to create a dispute resolution framework that was aligned to international norms and procedures. It was not that arbitration as a process suddenly appeared in India in 1996. There were plenty of previous legislations like the Bengal Regulation of 1772, the 1859 Code of Civil Procedure, the Indian Arbitration Act of 1899, the Civil Procedure Code of 1908, the Arbitration Act of 1940. All of these legislations dealt with arbitration and alternate dispute resolution in some form or the other. So in 1996, this Act was passed to build upon the foundation that was already laid by the previous Acts, and the 1996 Act aimed at covering the gaps in the previous laws and therefore creating an ADR process that was more tuned towards the current needs. Let us now look at some of the main features of the 1996 Act. The Act provides for both domestic and international commercial arbitration. It deals with the process of enforcing foreign arbitration awards in India. It defines and differentiates between arbitration and conciliation. It consolidates the good parts of the previous laws that were dealing with ADR in India. It brings in global best practices for dispute resolutions into India. It clarifies the extent and applicability of other laws such as the Civil Procedure Code and the Limitation Act on the arbitration process. It lays down the ground rules such as the primacy of the arbitration agreement, that the agreement should clearly mention what disputes are subject to arbitration, the number of arbitrators, the composition of the tribunal, their qualifications, jurisdiction, appointment, etc. In short, the Act of 1996 provides a framework for the arbitration process to be conducted in a structured manner. It also provides a framework for the powers and the duties of the arbitrators and how they can exercise them. Let us now look at the various types of arbitration. While the overall purpose remains the same, there are several types or kinds of arbitration depending on the specifics, such as who's conducting the arbitration proceedings, how the arbitration was initiated, the jurisdiction, and other details. For the purpose of this session, we will talk about 8 different types of arbitration, which are domestic, international, foreign, institutional, specialized, ad hoc, statutory, and fast track or documents only arbitration. So let us take a look at each of these different types in a little detail. Let us start with domestic arbitration. If the parties to the arbitration are Indian, the process takes place in India, and the dispute is decided on the basis of any substantive Indian law, then it will be called a domestic arbitration. A domestic arbitration will result in a domestic award. Next, let us look at international commercial arbitration, where one of the parties to the dispute is a citizen or a resident of a foreign country, or one of the parties is a legal person or a company that is based or controlled from outside India, or if one of the parties is a foreign government. Then such arbitration is called an international commercial arbitration. A foreign arbitration is where the arbitration is conducted in a place outside India, and the award is sought to be enforced as a foreign award in India. If the arbitration agreement designates an institution to which the dispute will be referred for resolution, it will be called an institutional arbitration. Some of the popular institutions in India for arbitration are the Indian Council of Arbitration, the International Chamber of Commerce, the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the International Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution, the American Arbitration Association, and the London Court of International Arbitration. Sometimes the arbitration is conducted by specialized institutions which might have framed special rules to meet the specific requirements for disputes of a particular type, such as those involving commodities, construction, or specific areas of technology. For example, intellectual property related disputes may be arbitrated by the World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO, who specialize in dealing with disputes in their domain areas. If the parties decide to arrange and conduct the arbitration by themselves, they create their own rules for the process and appoint their own arbitrators, and no institution is involved in the process, it can be referred to as ad hoc arbitration. This is quite similar to a structured negotiation between the parties, but for the fact that there is an arbitrator who is conducting the process. Ad hoc arbitration can be domestic, international, or foreign in nature. Moving on to statutory arbitration, this refers to arbitrations that are conducted as per the provisions of specific acts or statutes applicable to the dispute. For example, arbitrations may be mandated or conducted under the Cantonments Act, the Indian Electricity Act, the Land Acquisition Act, or the Railways Act. Next comes the fast track arbitration or the documents only arbitration. This is also known as the fast track procedure under Section 29B of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Here, the arbitrator or the arbitral tribunal will decide on the dispute on the basis of written pleadings, documents, and submissions filed by the parties without holding any oral hearings. In the next session, we will talk more about the arbitration agreement. I will conclude this video here, and I will see you in the next session. If you have any questions or feedback, you can post them below in the comments, and please do like, subscribe, and share this video.